episode of the Mark Robles Show. And today, talking a little bit about God, a little bit about some stuff that I've learned in my time following Jesus, which is not even been a year yet. So, that's crazy. My life has completely changed in under a year. This is the most I've ever expected my life to change, or to see anything like this happen this quickly. I wasn't ready for that. But Jesus said, you know what, it's time. Pull me in. And today, what I wanted to touch on was the book of James and our faith as well as our works. Because in James chapter 2, verse 14, he writes, "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but does not have works? Can such faith save him? No." And a good example I like to bring up when talking about this, because it's kind of hard to understand. It's like, okay, well, if we're saved through grace, through faith, why do we have to do these works? Now it's a works-based system. Well, they actually go hand in hand. And faith has to come first in order for you to put these works in. So the parable that I just made this up, but imagine you need to pay rent, you're tight on money, you got a family to provide for, and you need money in your pocket. Your buddy set you up with a job, you go to the interview, and the boss says, listen, you'll make 6 figures working here. That's the pay rate. You're going to have to put in the work. We need to see a different level of effort from you. And you're like, all right, yes, cool, I'm going to do that. And because you believe, okay, I'm going to make 6 figures, this is going to help my family, this is going to provide for what I need. First, you believed it. You heard what he said, you believed it. You don't think he's lying to you, you think he's telling the truth. Now it's okay. Because I believe this, I'm going to put in the necessary work and the necessary steps in order to achieve this job. Okay, I believe it's going to give me this, so I'm going to be here first and I'm going to leave last. I'm going to go home and I'm going to study extra a bit about whatever this job is about. I'm going to make sure that I'm helping out my teammates around me. I'm going to make sure that if it's a one-on-one type of thing and I've got to close a customer call or a sale, I'm going to close that sale and I'm going to make sure they don't leave without saying yes. You're going to follow the works that need to be done in order to succeed and get that job because you believe it's going to help you. It's the same thing with Jesus. We believe that Jesus died for us. We have faith that Jesus was tortured for our sake. Okay, now that you believe it and you have the faith in that, it's also written in Ephesians. It might be chapter 2, verses 8 through 10. Yeah, chapter 2, verse 10. We're in Ephesians. Paul writes, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared ahead of time for us to do." And as the apostle of the Gentiles, Paul preaches many times about the flesh and how to live as Christ and to die as gain, and how he would just love to be away from the flesh and be away from the sinful desire, right? And he kind of really goes deep into it's a faith thing. But here he writes, we are his workmanship, we are Christ's workmanship, created for good works, which God prepared ahead of time for us to do. So it's not like, oh, we have faith, we're good, we're straight. I believe in Jesus, right? So that means I don't got to go evangelize. I don't got to stay true to the word. I don't got to go do this and that. I'm not trying to be seen as a crazy Christian. No, because God tells us we have work to do. He's prepared it for us. So are we going to do that? Or are we not going to do it? And also, I feel like a little subject I want to touch on within this is, like I was saying before, how people don't want to be seen as a crazy Christian or they don't want to be judged. First things first, it's not like you're going around trying to spread some cult. This is a love thing. This is a relationship thing. Everyone I've ever talked to, when they try and tell me, oh, religion starts wars, this and that, I try to let them know, hey, yes, you're right. Religion does start wars, but I'm not trying to talk about a religion. I'm trying to talk to you about a relationship that saved my life, that has allowed me to go to heaven through his faith and his grace, and has allowed me to help others and change their lives. Not me, but the Lord speaking through me. When I actually do his works, I'm not just going to try and get you to join some cult. I don't care for that. What I want is I want to see you in heaven with me. I want to see you and your boys. I want to see you and your girl. I want to see everyone in heaven because that's where we want to be. You don't want to go to hell. You don't want to be in this eternal hellfire. You don't want to be separated from God's love. Because once you're separated from God's love, there's nothing left. There's nothing there. It's hot. It's terrible. It's garbage. There's no love. There's just straight hate and anger, animosity, pettiness, gossip. And God does not embody any of that. So when you go to do the work for God, you can't see it like I don't want to bother someone or I don't want to do this. Yeah, if you see someone doing homework and they're busy, you probably shouldn't go interrupt them and tell them about Jesus. Not that moment. But if you're just walking down the street and you see someone and hey, you got a moment, talk to them about God or go work for the ministry, do something for God's work because we're not doing this for some cult. We're not doing this to try and take your money. At least I'm not, because there is corruption out there. But you got to understand, if you're really genuine about this and you love Jesus and he has changed your life, you're not going to talk to someone or serve because you just want them to follow him. You're going to serve because you want them to love him. You want Jesus to shower them in his grace, to forgive them, to be with them because the woman who left them wasn't going to be with them. The man who left them wasn't going to treat them right. The parents they had didn't raise them well. The job they had just cut them loose and now they have no hope. They have hope in Jesus Christ, and that's what I'm trying to spread. I don't make these videos because I want someone to look at this and think, oh man, this guy's doing this or whatever. I'm just doing this because for the one person that might hear one part of this, I'm doing God's work. A. And B, I want you to feel the love and the peace that I feel. This isn't just a fluke. It's not fake. This isn't just some garbage. This is something that genuinely changed my life. And because I've seen that it works, not only personally, but if you look deeper into the apologetics and the history, the resurrection, there's many other things that can be used to argue for the case of Christ, but it works. I have buddies who were in depression, wanted to kill themselves, couldn't make it out. Jesus saved them. I have buddies who were really lazy. I was one of the lazy buddies. I still struggle, but now I have a lot more of a reason to be disciplined. Jesus gives me discipline. Jesus gives me strength. And like I said, I just want people to experience that. That's the whole thing with God's work. And kind of circle it all back once again. I kind of rambled off, went off topic. I have a tendency to do that. But we have to do God's work, right? Because what good is your faith? James chapter 2, verse 14. What good is it? It's not like you're just doing something, you're trying to help someone. You're trying to save someone's life. You're trying to let Jesus enter them and help them. So that was a big thing I want to touch on with the works and what it really means, Because like I said, this isn't just some cult stuff. I don't want to spread some garbage because I didn't follow Jesus for a lot of my life, but now I do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And yeah, that's all I got for the Jesus podcast. Margo Show.